What was most important to me with Donnie Brasco was the fact that Joe, the real Donnie Brasco, Joe Pistone, had been so generous with his time and with his past. He was so generous that for me, all I wanted, the result that I wanted, was for him to be happy.
I see.
Because he lived it and I played it, but then he has to live with it, and his family has to live with it for the rest of their lives. So that I was very touched that they were satisfied.
Hello and welcome to the Blu-ray review, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about Donnie Brasco.
Hey, can I ask you something? What's forget about it? What is that? Forget about it. It's like, if you agree with someone, like Raquel Welch is one great piece of ass. Forget about it. But then if you disagree, like a Lincoln's better than a Cadillac, forget about it. But it can also mean like if something's the greatest thing in the world, like Connie's homemade pizza, forget about it. Ugh. But it can also mean like go to hell too, like you say to Paulie, hey Paulie, you got a 1-inch pecker. Paulie says, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. Paulie, forget about it. Sometimes just means forget about it. Alright. Thank you very much, I got it. Yeah, I'll tell you something, if I don't get this boat for Lefty... What? Forget about it? Fucking forget about it.
So Donnie Brasco was released in 1997 and it's based on the book by Joe Pistone, Donnie Brasco, My Undercover Life in the Mafia. And it's his true story, how he infiltrated the mafia in the 1970s in New York and kind of got information on all the guys there and stuff, and it went on for about 6 years, and this is what the film follows. So his code name was Donnie Brasco, and that's the name he used to get in with all the the kind of mob guys, and in particular a guy called Lefty was his nickname. In the film, Donnie Brasco is played by Johnny Depp, and Lefty is played by Al Pacino. Lefty's character, he's kind of the aging mob guy who's kind of been left by all the other guys, and he's as he always says in the film, he's killed 26 guys, and what has he got to show for it? He's really kind of discontented with how he's being treated by the mob, and he's not being moved up, and he's staying in the same position. He has got the respect he feels that he deserves. And along comes this kid, Donnie Brasco, who his cover was that he was a jeweler, and so Lefty takes Donnie under his wing and kind of feels like Donnie respects him and kind of teaches him how to act in the mob, and is kind of like the perfect foil for him, basically. So Johnny Depp as Donnie Brasco / Joe Pistone is amazing. He's really, really awesome. Just a real subtle kind of performance, but if you watch it intently, you can really see the transformation of his character. And the film is about, in a way, it's almost like a kind of a love story between Donnie and Lefty, but it's also about the conflict of loyalty, I think, and how Donnie / Joe kind of becomes too attached to Lefty, and where do his loyalties lie? And that's kind of the whole question that kind of goes on throughout the film as he gets more and more deep into this mafia lifestyle. Al Pacino is fantastic, of course, and it's almost a great kind of mirror image of his character in The Godfather, who is this kind of rising figure in the mafia, and here he is as an aging figure in the mafia who's kind of not being treated with the respect that he does deserve. So it was a great kind of role for Al Pacino to pick, I think, and he plays perfectly off Johnny Depp in the film, and that is the main selling point of the film, is their relationship, and it doesn't disappoint. We have Anne Heche, and she plays Joe's wife in the film, and you also see their relationship develop, like how she deals with him being away all the time and not knowing what he's doing because he can't tell her, and how their relationship deteriorates, and we get intercut with that throughout the film. We have Michael Madsen playing Sonny Black, who is the rising figure of the film, and he kind of gets moved up in the system, which again Lefty's not very happy with him. Michael Madsen's really great in this film. He kind of shows a kind of quieter kind of side to his character, and then you can also see how, you know, how menacing he can be at the same time, but without really showing it too much. It's a weird kind of subtle performance, I think, that I really enjoyed in the film. Overall, the film was just brilliant. I really love it, and this version on this Blu-ray is the extended version. I don't unfortunately know what the difference is, because I believe this is the only version of the film I've seen. But there's no point in it where I feel like it's getting too long, and so for me, you know, if you're gonna see it, watch this version because it's just fantastic, and just a brilliant character piece. I think it's more about the relationship between Donnie and Lefty than it is the mob in a way, and that is the real driving point of the film, and I absolutely love it. And for the film as a rating, I would probably give it a good solid 9 out of 10. I've seen it quite a few times now, and it just is really enjoyable every time I see it. Just again, not to reiterate myself, but fantastic performances. It's worth noting as well that this was about to be made in 1991, I believe, in the early 90s at least anyway. It was going to be made, and Al Pacino was attached to star in the film, but Johnny Depp wasn't. In fact, the person who was kind of pegged to play Donnie Brasco was in fact Tom Cruise. I think that would have turned into a very different film, and I'm very much glad that that wasn't the case. As much as I like Tom Cruise, I think Johnny Depp was the absolute perfect fit. And at this point in his career as well, he was really kind of starting to, not grow into a man, but he was kind of starting to mature with his roles, certainly. And I think this was just a perfect fit, perfect timing for this film to come out. And it was also noted in the special features that they were hesitant with releasing the film in the early 90s because Goodfellas had just come out, and they didn't want to kind of compete with that, and they didn't think the market would be able to handle two films that kind of took a very real approach to the mafia. So they decided to hold off on it for a while. So that's why that didn't come into fruition. The guy who directed Donnie Brasco was Mike Newell, who had just come off the success of Four Weddings and a Funeral. I really don't know why they went with him on this, but I'm glad that they did, because I think he did a great job. Definitely a weird choice, considering that Four Weddings and a Funeral couldn't be any further removed from a film like this, but it gave him a lot of success, and it gave him that kind of door into Hollywood, and that's how he got the job to direct this film, and I think he did a great job. So now we're going to have a look at the actual Blu-ray itself, and I'm going to show you the packaging and then talk about the special features. Okay, so here we have the packaging for this Blu-ray. It is a Sony Collector's Edition series, but it is a Scandinavian release, as you can see by the age ratings there. Norway, Denmark. This came from Finland, and yeah, really nice cover design. I like it a lot. We have Johnny Depp on the front and Al Pacino. The cutouts of them aren't the best, to be honest. Quite shoddily done, but there you go. Overall, it looks nice. We got the title there embossed with a nice gold finish to it. Just love that the style of these releases is really cool. On the spine there, it's gold as well. Looks really cool on the shelf. And then we have the back. Just to give you, a comparison, this is one of the UK collector's editions, which I prefer because it's a thicker case. This is the first release, as you can tell on the spine. And again, as you can see, the difference in spine thickness. It's just like the American Blu-rays. So we'll take the slipcover off. It's just the same on the inside, same artwork. Obviously the title isn't as gold on the front. On the back we have a synopsis of the film. Collected edition at the top there. We got some pictures from the film. Special features, not many. We'll talk about that in a minute. We got specifications, runtime, the cast, and all the rating stuff. It is region ABC, that's region free, and this was designed in 2011. So on the inside here we got the disc, which is just so uninspiring. I mean, I don't think that's even from the film. It's just a stock design, Donnie Brasco. I mean, I'm not really that bothered about disc designs, but come on, experience more with blue. We got some pamphlets there talking about more in the collector's edition series. Just some fluff leaflets really, and a picture of Lefty and Donnie on the inside there, which is a shame it's only on that side, because on the UK editions there's an inside artwork for the whole thing, and not that stupid experience more with blue thing. I mean, if it was designed in 2011, it's not like it's a new thing, is it? I don't know. Either way, it's hit and miss as far as that goes, but again, disc art's nothing. The overall package just looks really great and awesome. I love it. Good stuff. Now, the Blu-ray is not available in the UK for anyone watching in the UK. You can get it in America for a very good price, and it is region free, so you can get it from there, from Amazon.com, or you can find any of the other European releases and they'll all play on your Blu-ray player. But the unfortunate thing is the special edition DVD, while some of the features have been ported over to the Blu-ray, a lot of them haven't. Well, I say a lot. It's mainly the director's audio commentary by Mike Newell, and I really would have loved to hear that because I'm a big fan of audio commentaries, and would have been great to hear his thoughts on the film throughout the whole thing. But for some reason, they just didn't put it on the Blu-ray. Now, it might be because the extended cut isn't on the DVD, but it is on the Blu-ray, so there might have been some issue there, but it just seems like laziness on the part of the people who released this Blu-ray, that they didn't include the audio commentary, and it's kind of disappointing. Okay, so you've heard about the film, you've seen what the Blu-ray looks like, the packaging and everything. So how does the Blu-ray stand up? Well, the picture quality for me is great. It's certainly not one of those kind of mind-blown, amazing transfers, but it looks very good on Blu-ray, very crisp. A lot of good detail there and stuff. Again, I'm not the biggest kind of videophile and don't really notice a lot of the things like terms like banding and all this kind of thing, but it looks great to me. There's a nice amount of grain in there, and it just looks brilliant. I really was really happy with the way this film looked on Blu-ray. The thing is, I think this is one of the earlier Blu-ray releases, when, you know, the high definition format was just starting to come out and stuff, and I think it holds up very well. Now, the special features on there, we have an exclusive featurette called Donnie Brasco Out from the Shadows, and it's a 24 minute featurette which kind of covers basically from start to finish the making of the film. Very quick, very brief, well made though. You know, we see pictures and stuff, we see some behind the scenes footage, we get to hear from the writer, the director, we hear from Johnny Depp. We don't hear from Al Pacino, unfortunately, but most importantly in this featurette, the standout was all the input from the real life Joe Pistone, and he really talks a lot about how, you know, Johnny Depp would come and hang out with him before making the film. They would do lift weights together, and Depp would really pick up on his voice and stuff. And Pistone even says in this featurette, he says that if he listened to a tape of Johnny Depp doing his voice, he wouldn't be able to tell whether it was him or Johnny Depp. So you can tell he really did a good job, and he also kind of puts his stamp of approval on the rest of the film in terms of how the mob was portrayed, and he says that it was portrayed exactly how it is. So, you know, a lot of work went into this film to make sure that it was really authentic, including Mike Newell, the director. He went out into Brooklyn and he went out to bars and he drank with wise guys and stuff, and he really absorbed himself into that thing to kind of get a handle on everything that he was going to be directing. So that was really great to hear, and you can tell a lot of effort and time went into this film, which is great to see, and it shows when you see the film. Next we have it's simply titled Original Featurette. So it was a featurette that came out around the time of the film's release in 1997. This is a 7-minute kind of glorified trailer, really. It's a bit like a trailer with a few behind-the-scenes clips and interviews. Nothing really new from the other featurette. You see most of it in there anyway. And it's worth noting that special features on this Blu-ray are ported directly from the 2000 DVD release, so there's nothing of worthy mention really in terms of the actual Blu-ray, because the rest is just a photo gallery / montage, which is a 3-minute video of pictures from the film and behind the scenes pictures, and you just hear voice clips from the film and a couple of audio clips from when they were making the film. It's a very strange feature. It's not very good. The pictures don't look that great because I believe, again, it's ported directly from the DVD, so the quality isn't that great on the pictures even, so that was a shame. And then we have theatrical trailers, and I thought, oh, this is cool because I quite like trailers, but there's not a single trailer in sight for Donnie Brasco. Instead we got trailers for Felon, Lakeview Terrace, I believe, Hancock, and just a Blu-ray trailer. It's like high definition Blu-ray disc trailer. So again, you could tell this came out in the height of Blu-ray's, you know, first foray into the home media world. So disappointing features to be sure, but you know, the featurette that's on there is very good, and you know, it's not disappointing completely. Just a shame that they didn't put a bit more time and effort into it for the Blu-ray release, but nonetheless really enjoyable, and the film looks great, which, you know, after all is the main thing. So I hope you enjoyed this first real episode of the Blu-ray review, where I kind of go into everything and do a little fun skit at the beginning. So I hope you liked that, I hope you enjoyed it, and I really want to do more of this in the future and kind of make this series, the Blu-ray review, something I can just pick up and play with whenever I want, and and put some real effort into it and stuff. So hope you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching.